Welcome to the Costa Property Podcast, the podcast that turns your dreams of owning a piece of paradise on the Costa del Sol into reality. I'm Warner Laurie, and I'm joined by my co-host and wives, Sandra Laurie.
Join us as we embark on navigating the ins and outs of real estate and relocation to this beautiful region.
We're not just about market trends, we're about sharing real-life experiences, because we know the struggle firsthand, and I've helped many people navigate this challenge also.
If you're dreaming of your perfect Costa del Sol home and want to get real, no-frills, expert advice, then you're absolutely in the right place. Join us each week as we share honest insights and information that will guide your journey. Okay, so today we're going to take it back. We're going to take it right back to the start, Warner. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
I think what a lot of people don't know about us is that before WL Costa Properties, before we were helping clients secure stunning villas, retirement homes, their piece of paradise on the Costa del Sol, we were actually buyers ourselves. We don't often talk a lot in terms of where it all started for us. And I think the time has come now really for us to share our own journey of buying and flipping properties and making sensible property investments on the Costa del Sol, from homes that we rented out for short-term lets to 2 years ago purchasing that luxurious villa that we renovated to exactly what we want that we live in today. So when people come to us to really explore what they want to buy, we are perfectly qualified to support them because we have been through the whole buying spectrum ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been on our own journey. I fell in love with the property when I bought my first one in 21 in Glasgow. My journey is from Glasgow to Dubai to Ireland, and in every stage we have bought and sold properties, and thankfully we've turned profit. So, from that education, we've just taken it to Spain and just put that in motion as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If we go back to 2016 when we first moved, we've spoke very openly on this podcast that we had sold our house in Ireland and we had come to Spain. And initially the right decision for us at the time was to rent, because we wanted to really find the right property. I wouldn't even say the right property, but we were really invested at that point in making sure that we were finding the right area. Because the kids were so small, we wanted to make sure that we were setting up home in the right town. We wanted to be close to the right schools. We wanted to be close to the right nurseries. So at that point, with Abigail being 1 and Oliver being 4, we rented, we tested the schools in the area, and I think we always knew we wanted to be based in Benalmádena because from our point of view, it had everything for families, but we just wanted to test that concept. So we rented at the beginning. And what I'm seeing more and more of at the moment, especially the buyer that's coming to buy that high-end villa, that property with that higher price tag that they want to relocate their family here. They've often done that. They've often come for a summer, rented, tested their concept on the Costa del Sol and really figured out if the area is for them, and then they're ready to strike. So I'm definitely seeing a change in buyer mindset over here this year. They're coming a lot more prepared than we've seen before. So there's often less hand-holding in the process because the buyer is savvy, they're bit more, they've done lot more of their homework. And as I said, they've tested a concept by renting for a number of months, maybe over summer, to ensure that they feel very secure about the area that they've selected. And that's essentially what we did at the beginning, right? And then I guess in parallel to that, the market was quite good here around 2017, 2018. And we found ourselves in a position where we were able to purchase a number of properties that we renovated to a higher standard, and then we were able to then flip those properties and make a profit. So I guess we've been through that whole range of spectrum. So we can definitely sit in our buyers' shoes, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think property timing is everything. And at that time when we arrived in the shores in Spain in 2016, Spain was just coming out of the credit crunch and things were starting to blossom. So it was a great time for us just to, rent somewhere, find our feet, and really look at the market to understand, where do we want to be and what way is the market going. So it was really good. It gave us the stability that we had a beautiful home, but also the opportunity to look and really, really study before the world caught up, and Spain obviously caught up with the prices. So it was a really good time for us to land in Spain and to really get to know the Spanish market.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree with your point of view. And then also, while you were studying the market, I was studying the area. I was studying the schools. I was watching how the kids were integrating, what was happening on the ground in terms of quality of the schools. Were they able to make friendships in the area? Were they able to integrate into hobbies and interests in the area? So I guess we took a two-prong approach with it. Absolutely, we're validated quite quickly that Benalmádena was where we wanted to be. And then we were able to strike while the iron was hot and move from a rental property into the property that we wanted to buy. And I think it's safe to say that we've never regretted our decision of basing ourselves in Benalmádena. It's the perfect place for us, in our opinion, to raise a family and really watch them grow and flourish. And it ticked all the boxes for us in terms of giving us that outdoor lifestyle, but also that community feel and allowing the kids to integrate into life here and really feel at home.
Yeah, I totally agree. Benalmádena's always felt home for me, and having some friends and family there really helped us really integrate, and renting in the Spanish area really helped the kids with the culture and everything else. So Benalmádena, number one for me.
It isn't just a holiday home, a holiday resort. It's a destination. It's a town. I guess as a mother, it gave me everything for my kids. It allowed them to be outside, away from consoles and games, not stuck cooped indoors during bad weather. It gave them that outdoor lifestyle, but it also gave them community. They were able to integrate. They were able to mix with friends and really immerse themselves into life here. So we just absolutely knew from the beginning that it was absolutely for us. I guess now I want to really jump into, Warner, your perspective around some of the lessons that we learned flipping and investing in property in Spain. It's a strange territory for us talking about this. I think we've probably been brought up in the cultures of, you don't talk about your achievements, you don't say out loud, what you've been able to achieve or what you've been able to accomplish in your life. And I think that's kind of been our status up until now. But what we're hearing more and more from our buyers as they're coming through, they want us to talk about our own experiences investing and flipping properties, our own experience buying our forever home and renovating it. They want to hear more in terms of how we've accomplished that. So we're lifting the lid on that today, but it doesn't always feel comfortable because, I'm Irish and I'm growing up in that culture where, you never say out loud your achievements.
Yeah, absolutely. And I grew up in Postle Park in Glasgow in a tenement apartment. And, it really hit home to me a couple of years ago when we bought our dream property that I was looking out to that sea view and I have my own palm tree. So from all those years growing up in Glasgow, I could never imagine that I would ever have a house with a palm tree. So that was really a eureka moment for me and a massive achievement for us because in Ireland, we were in the rat race. Yes, we had our home. Yes, we were, the kids, they were happy there. But the problem was we couldn't expand the way that we did in Spain. And I thank Spain for the opportunity for them to give us as a family that opportunity to really grow and to make our dreams come true.
We've been very grateful for the life that we've been able to build here. And I love that you talk about the palm tree, not to mention the beautiful pool that you have and that, exquisite sea view. It's the palm tree. I think we need to put a name on the palm tree. Dave is coming to my mind. Dave the palm tree. But that's hilarious. Speaking of palm trees, the palm tree needs a haircut, so we need to We need to book the gardener for that. Let's talk a little bit about what you've learned. What have you learned from your experience buying property, renovating it, selling it on? If somebody's at home listening and they want to follow in that path, what would you tell them?
From our point of view, for investing is to buy at the right price. Because if you buy at the right price and you renovate or you reform, you're going to add value. So you're going to make money with that. Or if you buy something and you renovate it, then you have a great rental income because you could do it as a holiday ownership or you could do it as a long-term rental. So always go with your gut and look at it in a way and say, is this property worth it? What is this property going to be worth in 10 years? And really go in 100%. If it doesn't feel right, then don't do it because you'll regret it. And it has to feel good. It has to become at the right price. And I think what's for you won't go by you. So if something is there for you, then you'll buy it.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that now because, you know, if we look at the trajectory on the Costa del Sol over the last number of years, the property prices are going up and up and up because the demand is here and more people are starting to see what we saw back in 2016 in terms of identifying the Costa del Sol as a location, a destination where they can raise their families securely and safely, or they can have that bolt hole in Europe that allows them to get away and experience a completely different type of culture with balance, with security. Okay, so because of that, we've seen an increase in price point dramatically over the last number of years. And it's fair to say that you and I have often sat here at times and said, it can't keep continuing like this. The prices cannot keep escalating at the rate that they are. And they are. The reality is they are. And every time we have a buyer each year that says, I'll wait until next year because the prices are going to drop, they've been disappointed. And because they didn't strike a year ago, they actually then haven't been able to gain that foothold and enter into the market. So somebody might be sitting and listening and going, you know, you talk about timing, Warner, but for the last number of years, it doesn't feel like the timing has been good because the property prices keep escalating. What would you say to me?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, for us, the timing was correct in 2016. But if you look at the prices that they were when we bought our first property at 90,000, that 90,000, say in 2021, now in 2025, that 90,000 is 200,000 because inflation and all the different prices and money each year is becoming more worthless. So I totally get what you're saying. And for somebody that's looking to invest just now, look, prices are going up all around the world, you know, so the Costa del Sol in a market is still relatively a great investment because it hasn't followed other places. And you don't actually realise that until somebody comes in from the UK and says, yeah, well, this property is 300,000, but if it was in Birmingham or Manchester, it would be 500,000. And then the kind of reality hits home and saying, okay, then I totally understand, but we were very lucky that we kind of got a free run of it for those years. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Now is the time, not tomorrow. And I always remember I had one client that came to me about 2018 and she had 150,000 and she wanted a 2-bedroom. And I said to her, look, I have a 2-bedroom, but it's 165,000. And she said, do you know what? I'll come away and I'll come next year and I'll be able to buy that one. And sure enough, she came back the next year and she said, look, I've got 175,000. Can I get a 2-bedroom? And those 2 bedrooms were 195. I said, I've got one there. And she says, no, I'll do it. And she kept on doing it. And eventually in the 4th year, she ended up buying a 2-bedroom for €245,000.
The lesson there is almost then don't wait, because the market here doesn't show any indication of slowing down. So you will be disappointed if you do wait. But I think the pricing is relative. It's increasing to reflect the demand and the fact that it's still an interesting investment over here. It's still an investment that pays off, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the people that are selling just now is people that's in retirement. They've had the property, they bought it 20 years ago, they've decided to sell it, but don't forget they have 20 years of fantastic holidays, their family have used it, their friends have used it. So they're selling now and making good money on that, but that is their pension. They took a chance 20 odd years ago and bought the property at that price, and now it's becoming fruitful for them. But then you've got the other people that are going to buy that, and they're going to do the same. They're going to have it for 10 or 20 years. The family's going to use it, and then by that 20 years, they're going to sell it. So it's like the wheel just turns. That's what I love about property. You know, people say about shares and everything else, but property is real. That's why they call it real estate. And you can feel it, touch it, live in it, enjoy holidays, and your family can enjoy it as well. So that will never ever change. And that's why I love property, and that's where my love for property has always been really there.
Amazing. I guess just to talk about a little bit about then, why did you build the business? So why did you build WL Costa Properties? And I also want to home in on why we're different to other real estate agents that you're going to work with.
The reason we formed WL Costa Properties is obviously in 2016, I'd been out of the Spanish market for a few years. So I wanted to dip my toe back in the water. So I actually got a job with a real estate agent, as a very good real estate agent. And I just looked at what he's doing right. He took me to shows in London, the place in the sun. And I really learned in that year, how to basically market the property, sell the property. And there was one key element of that I really thought that was lacking was VIP service, you know, taking that client from the start and really going on the journey with them till the end, and always being there for that client no matter what. And that was the thing that was missing for me. So we had a conversation, and I was doing the work anyway. I was listing the properties. He was doing the marketing, and I was selling the properties. So I may as well have went out on my own and added that extra VIP service into the bargain. And look, it's been an amazing journey, 7 years now, and we're growing every year. But my morals and the mission statement always remains the same. The customer is king, and everyone will get treated the same.
It's more than just chasing commissions for you. I went for some dinner last Friday with Regina, our lovely lawyer who often appears on the podcast. And, you know, we were talking about you, what she said about you. And I mean this, and I know you're my husband, and I'm not blowing smoke up your arse now or anything. You're just a genuinely nice guy. And I really feel that the people that work with you feel that. You're not in this to rip people off. You're not in this to chase the commission. You're genuinely in this because you want to support people to achieve and accomplish something that they've dreamt about or thought about for a while. And it's true, you're just a genuinely good person. So don't use this now to bribe me when I'm telling you that I don't like you very much.
Well, being a good person and having the morals, you know, these people, they put training shoes on my son and daughter's feet. They give us the lifestyle that we want. But it also gives us the opportunity to live in this beautiful country and work in this amazing job, and also share that with all our clients. And it's contagious. People love that. And most of my business is referral business because they've had the VIP service, they feel comfortable, and they want other people to experience that as well. So it's great. It's great for the business and it's great for us.
I think it's fair to say that the business was built because of the desire to offer, a real person VIP service. No pushy sales tactics, real people connecting over a property transaction, but supporting them with the right guidance and the kind of support that I think we wished we would have had when we began. I guess we're always conscious of the fact that the market isn't regulated here as well. And it's really about giving people a service that they can trust and also providing people with accurate information about, what they can expect on the ground here in a real transparent way. So what makes us different? What makes you different? Us different? No pressure, expert advice, your reputation, often referred to as the king of Benalmádena, which is funny, but a reputation that's built on referrals, so you search you on Google, 5-star reviews. That's not just chance. That's not you paying a bot to write those. They're real people that have worked with you and experienced that real VIP service that you talk about. Every single review is 5 stars because every single customer is treated with that VIP service. You go above and beyond.
Absolutely. It's really important to me that everybody is 100% confident in what I'm doing, and it's imperative. And it is a job. It's a great job. But the end result, like yesterday, we were working with these clients for 6 months. We found them the perfect property and everything was perfect for them, and just giving them the keys and their gift box and letting them go into the property that they've always dreamed about. That was special. So, and obviously for us buying our dream property, it was even more special because it was a massive achievement, and credit to us for working hard and building that life.
We hear horror stories all the time about people choosing the wrong location, people choosing the wrong property, working with agents and not getting full information. And I come from a place where I believe everybody does their best with the tools that they have, but it's very important also as a buyer that you do your part of the bargain here and research what type of agent do you want to work with? What values do they need to display? What's important for you with them? Because you're going to be working with them for a period of time. You're going to be working with them for a number of months. So like every relationship, what do you need to feel safe, secure and trust that? That's very, very important. Like buying property in Spain, it's not like buying back home. Here, you need to have the right people guiding you. You need to make sure that you don't get caught out. And we've seen this unfortunately happen time and time again, that people just haven't had the best experience because they haven't chose the right partner, the right real estate agent up front, and potentially the right questions weren't asked, the right preparation towards the search wasn't done up front. And the sad part is that often that leads people to potentially buy a property in a location that's not often right for them. Now, that becomes a very expensive transaction because you are eventually going to have to sell that property again to relocate somewhere else where you're happier, right? That becomes not cost effective for you. So we don't want that for you. So it's about taking your time at the start of your search, doing your due diligence, asking you the right questions, ensuring that you follow our proven frameworks, ensuring that we really get to the nitty-gritty, to the heart of what you want, and then making the magic happen, pairing you with that dream property.
Yeah, and also 9 times out of 10, the first property that you buy will never be the one that you'll always lead yourself up with that. And I'm seeing that just now from people that bought with me in 2017. Now they're cashing in on that investment and they're buying the property that they always wanted to. But at that time, they just wanted to get their foot on the ladder, test the market out, see what actually they wanted to buy, but they were in the market, they bought it that time. and they've had good times, have rented it, the family have used it, but now they want to upgrade. Maybe they're coming into that retirement age now, and, you know, they want to spend more time and need a bigger apartment. So it's always about, if you don't know 100% what you want, then it's all about getting the first step on the ladder, as I say. Once you've got the first step on the ladder, then you get the confidence to actually upgrade whenever you want.
Amazing. So look, we're the same as everybody else. If we can do it, anyone can. I think key message from this is that if you have that dream, if you have that voice telling you that Spain is a life and a lifestyle that you want to explore, it's a destination that you want to build a life in, stop waiting. Follow your heart and do it now. Reach out to us. Be inspired by our journey, because if we can do it, you can too. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We've got some nuggets to support you with your own property search. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening into today's episode on the Costa Property Podcast. Another fantastic episode learning about the highs and lows of relocating to the Costa del Sol from real people who have been through the journey themselves, and of course our wonderful experts. If you have been enjoying the show so far, remember to hit subscribe to the podcast and leave a rating or review.
We absolutely love hearing your thoughts. Please send any questions that you would like us to answer on the show to warner@wlcostaproperties.net, or you can pop us a message on our socials, which are in the show notes. Remember, you can also visit the website www.wlcostaproperties.net.
See you on the next episode, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.